Hi, it's Mike with AskTractorMike.com. This is Brian who works with me, and we're at a farm show. And the day to go to a farm show, Brian, is the day before the farm show. If you can get in the gate, and we know people that let us in the gate, but we're here the day before everybody comes and the salespeople come and there's crowds of people. And our topic today is bad ideas for farm equipment. And we're going to go around to some of the things around here that we both don't really think's a great idea. Let's get started. We're going to start here at the Kubota booth, and I don't know if any other manufacturers are doing this, Brian, but a non-quick attach loader bucket is a bad idea.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, of course, you know, the good news is you can get one from us, but I think it ought to be more as a standard option to have the quick attach. You just, you know, you can do pallet forks, there's grapples, different things that you could use if you had the quick attach and the ability to change implements quickly.
Now, a lot of people go into shopping for tractors. There's two types of quick attaches, and if you're new to tractors, you may not know that. There's quick attach loader, where the whole loader comes off, and the quick attach bucket.
Right, right.
And of the two, I'd rather have this one.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, I could probably count on one hand how many times I've had my loader frame off the tractor. But I change my bucket out for my pallet forks constantly. I probably use my pallet forks probably more than I do my bucket, honestly.
I'm same way, same way.
I use it, it's kind of my teenage boy. I use it to carry stuff around, you know, so. But yeah, it's a good idea to have it. You know, like I say, you can add it on later, but of course that's a cost. So you'll want to think about that when you're purchasing a new tractor, especially when you buy used. You're just kind of getting what you get.
We can put it on, but it costs money. All right, let's go to the next one. Brian, you can't see it from where we're at, but there's a really, really bad idea here.
Yeah,
the stabilizers.
Yeah, so these have a turnbuckle system with basically a stop nut. So to adjust your stabilizers from swaying side to side, you have to actually loosen that nut, turn the turnbuckle to make it fit the area that you're wanting it to stay in. So I've sold several tractors that had this on it, and it was never a good thing. You know, it just guys would lose the turnbuckle piece. They didn't realize the nut backed off, and then it would unthread itself, and you know, just an expense. Of course, you know, you have to check them. A lot of times I would tell customers to double nut those, you know, that way they're not going to lose it at least.
The really bad news about it, no one I know makes an aftermarket extendable telescopic stabilizer to fit the ones that have turnbuckles. The manufacturer may have that as an option. In other words, like this Kubota, you may find another unit that would fit it. But as far as getting it on the aftermarket, somebody making them, there was a guy that made them. I don't know that he's around. His website's dead. And last I checked, he was like 2 years behind. Because I've got a neighbor that wants it to have the telescopic stabilizers, and I don't think there's an option out there. So get the telescopic stabilizers when you get a new tractor, and you'll be happy. Absolutely. I'm going to run through three things real quick that bug me about tractor design that kind of always been that way, and it doesn't seem like the manufacturers want to change it. Number one is three-point hookup. The three-point lower link arms, getting them hooked around pins is tough with a design like this. And you know, these lower link arms haven't changed much since clear back in the 8N Ford days. You can get a quick hitch, or my favorite is a Pat's Easy change that'll remedy that. But without that, it's hard to get implements hooked and unhooked. The second thing that bugs me is stupid lights on the front of the grill of the tractor shine right into the loader bucket. So if you're trying to get work done at night, it's almost worse with the lights on than with them off. And we sell an RBI tractor light, which stands for roll bar illumination, a light that goes with magnets on your roll bar, with a switch with a magnet that goes on your roll bar, and then you just wire it into your battery and you've got lights up high. And that's where all lights ought to be on all tractors. But for some reason, the manufacturers love the lights shining into the loader bucket. They don't seem to want to change that design. Last thing is storage on a tractor. I came up with the tractor Caddy, to help me haul my chainsaw to the field. It looks like the manufacturers at some point would come up with some storage places to store stuff when you're going out with your tractor, but they have not. The Tractor Caddy goes on non-cab tractors, available on my website. If you got a cab tractor, you're out of luck, because I haven't figured out where you can mount a storage device on a cab tractor. Somebody maybe someday will come up with that, but it's a problem if you got a cab tractor. Brian, one of the things I think is possibly a bad idea, I want to get your opinion. Brian and I worked together in the dealership world, and he did more selling than I actually did, so I value his judgment. But hydraulically powered front implements for compact tractors, good idea or bad idea?
You know, there's probably a lot that I wouldn't know about the effects of, you know, the hydraulic powered units on the hydraulic system of your tractor. You know, there could be some that would say that, you know, you're going to build a lot of heat in this unit as you're cutting, especially if you're in the thick, heavy debris, and then as that heat transfers back, it's going to go through the hydraulic pump on your tractor. Like I say, I do not know what those effects would be on that.
The one thing about this mounted on the front, it definitely is more maneuverable. It can go more places. You can see it out in front of you. The scary thing is not really the cutter. Cutter's probably fine. It's how hard are you going to work it, how long you're going to be working it, and how much heat that builds in the hydraulic system. Now, if you're using one of these, if you've already got one, we're not trying to scare you, but if you've got one, what would you recommend to make the tractor hydraulic system last?
I would say probably, you know, keep your fluid serviced more frequently, maybe, on your hydraulic system with your filters and things like that, because, you know, as you know, heat will break down that fluid, and then it, you know, that's where you're going to see a failure possibly. But, and like I say, it may not be a real issue with the tractor hydraulics having that come back there. It may have time to cool somewhat before it gets back to the pump when it cycles back, you know, towards your pump.
And every tractor is going to be a little bit different with how much hydraulic flow it has, how much cooling it has. If it's a hydro, you've got that to factor in. So there's a lot to think about here in terms of whether this is a good idea or not.
Right.
Okay, Brian, this is not a tractor, but this is an option on tractors. This is a zero turn with dual wheels on the back. You can get kits to put dual wheels on the back of tractors, small tractors. Good idea, bad idea?
Oh, it's a great idea, especially if you're in, you know, hilly country where maybe you're brush hogging on the side of a hill or something like that. It's going to give you a lot more stability, for sure.
Now, how about wear on the driveline?
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah, yeah, it could be an issue. It could not affect it at all. It might actually relieve some of the pressure. I'm not sure.
Yeah. We have no experience with it, but I don't think it's a bad idea. The one thing about it, if you've got a 6-foot brush hog and you're barely cutting out your tire tracks now, duals are going to change all that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And too, if you were doing, you know, back dragging a road or something like that, you know, this would come into play there as well, because it's going to probably get out wider than your bucket. So yeah, but not a big issue for the benefit gain, I wouldn't think.
Yeah, it beats turning a tractor over. So this is an idea I'm okay with. You're
absolutely, yeah.
Finally today, the last design thing on tractors that neither Brian or I like is where the fuel tank is located on a lot of tractors. Brian and I both have tractors with a fuel tank in back of the operator up high, where you got to lift the 5-gallon jugs up high to get the fuel in. That's a terrible design. We like even less the fuel tanks in the hood, where you scratch up the paint trying to get the fuel in, or you spill diesel all over the paint. I think every tractor should have the fuel tank down low like this one, down around the step. I know it's more exposed down there. Most people put a shield over it to keep brush out of it, but I like it down low because it's easy to fill there, and it keeps the load low for better stability on slopes. That's our list of things we don't like in design on tractors. If you've got more to add to the list, put them in the comments down below. I'd be interested to see what you have. If you'd like to purchase Pat's Easy Change for easy 3-point hookup, the Tractor Caddy for storage, with the RBI tractor light for illumination, go to my website here in the Tractor Fun store. Here's another video you might want to watch. Thanks for watching.